everyone. I'm David Gussett.
And I'm Jody Jacobs.
And welcome to a special episode of Hello, Long Island. Hey, Jody. Nice to see you again.
Hello again.
Usually I have me and you kicking off Monday mornings together, but today we have a special episode.
Yes, we have a special
on something that I know touches me and I know recently touches you.
Very much so, yeah.
Today, Joe, I'm going to bring up our guest right away. We have Mark Atian from Community Cares. Mark, nice to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Mark, your company handles home health aides. I immediately think of the elderly. It'll be one of my first questions. It might be a young person who needs home health aides, but health care and aides in the house and people like me and Jody taking care of our parents. Very worrisome time, worried about costs, worried about logistics. That's why we have you here. What's the process, Mark, of getting proper health care in the home?
Well, the biggest challenge is getting qualified help. And the way that happens is we are licensed with the New York State Department of Health, and our aides are highly credentialed, not only from a criminal standpoint, but also a physical standpoint, as far as their physicals, their titers and inoculations, and it's an ongoing search. It's not only a New York State criminal search, it's nationwide.
So their backgrounds have been checked, whether it's on a medical basis or whether they were in your home stealing something, they're not part of your roster at that point in time.
Correct. And the system is pretty influential in our selection process. We have approximately about 250 home health aides at this point, servicing Nassau, Suffolk, and Queens. And most of our population that we're servicing is geriatrics, because the need is phenomenally great right now, but it's going to be increasing rapidly.
It's an
aging population.
Where our population's continuing to grow old gracefully, but need help. Yeah.
Right, and the biggest challenge families are opposed to or presented with is how do they get help? Because most people are not prepared for this situation in life. It's normally they're thrown into it. Mom has fallen, she's in the hospital, they won't let her come home until she has 24-hour care in the home. Now the family doesn't know who to turn to. 90% of the calls we get are families in distress. They're looking for that care. And what we do is we really try and educate the families on who to call, what to do. Our corporate philosophy is, we will help you no matter what. We're going to help you, even if it's an hour a day, even if you need an elder law attorney, whatever the need is, we have resources because we are in the industry.
So it goes beyond the healthcare itself. So you can have the resources to do, if they're trying to look at their documents, if they're needing estate planning, or if they're doing anything, you'll kind of get into that as well.
Correct, and we will refer them to the professionals that we network with within our industry.
This is amazing. I actually am witnessing this. She's my step grandmother. I love her dearly, but she has been in and out of hospitals, and now her daughter feels she's the only one that can care for her. But you're watching that that family's life be so interrupted, and you do feel a sense of guilt, I think, as a family member not taking care of your parent. But you can't do everything that a home health aide or a certified home health aide could do the same way, or make sure that you get everything right.
Without a doubt. The biggest satisfaction we get as a company is when we can see that stress removed from the family.
They can enjoy their
100%. So now a home health aide can not only do the healthcare issues, but can also do things like meal prep, light housekeeping, some transportation to appointments. So now when the family does come over, they're not running around doing the laundry and doing the food shopping. They're spending quality time with mom or dad. So they're able to visit as opposed to be doing chores with mom and dad.
Now, is any of this funded under Medicare or Medicaid, or is it something that independently that we choose to do, or how do you actually go to get paid for this from family members? Are there resources for that?
The bulk of, there's so many different payer sources. Medicare and Medicaid. Medicaid is probably the largest resource as far as payment, but we also accept private pay. HMOs or medical insurance is really on a case-by-case scenario, because certain policies don't cover home care within the policy. Another very good, and what happens is a lot of times with families, the financial aspect really clouds the whole process as opposed to finding the best care for mom and dad. They're looking more dollars and cents. So long-term care insurance is a very positive payer source, where it removes the whole financial issue out of the question.
But then I had to be prepared for years in advance. You can't just get that. You know,
Correct.
like you said, most people are calling you in distress, not that they have been paying this long-term care for a long time. I see it being a process, even just in my own family. I mean, at first, the elderly, my parents, they refuse help. You must see that in the process, that they refuse help, Any thoughts to the
independent,
people of how to work through that refusing to having to force it or just implement it because it's needed, but they're saying no? It's a delicate
process.
Thing then.
Without a doubt. That's the only thing that I see more devastating to a family is trying to get the keys from mom and dad when they no longer can drive. But the process of getting a family member or bringing a stranger into the home is a very delicate situation. What we do is, we do things what's called meet and greet. And what that means, we will go in and actually do an assessment of the family. And not only are we looking from the clinical standpoint, we're also looking at their personality, because what's going to make this whole process work is compatibility.
Sure.
And compatibility meaning, I'm not going to put an aide into a very meek, quiet grandmother with a boisterous aide,
Right.
not on top, overbearing. So it's a process. The other thing is we do a meet and greet, where once we select the aide, they go and meet with the family alone, and they can speak freely, so the family can be comfortable. And
So
most
you're helping in that selective matchmaking process.
without a doubt, everyone has to be comfortable. Not only the aide, but also the family.
Sure.
That it is the right match. And at any time, we're accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So if there's an issue, no matter what it is, pick up the phone,
Mark,
and call.
I hear in the home, and I just don't want to call it home aid. Like you said, there's different levels of people doing it. It could be driving around, taking blood pressure and stuff. But and as a marketing guy, this is a challenge that I would hope to be able to do something good with. And that is, man, it's hard to get good help. I mean, I know you and other companies that like you, that it's the number one of your biggest concerns is, and it's going to be a constant. Old people are going to keep getting older. Medical keeps having them living longer. They're going to need help. What could this show do to help? What do you need? He's hiring, guys. What do you got for us? Who you hiring,
Great
buddy?
news, yeah.
Well, we are looking, we're always hiring, and we're looking for qualified people. And basically our philosophy is we're going to hire someone, what would I expect if they were caring for my own parents? We're looking for that sincerity, and I'm looking for people that want a career, that can grow with us. Whether you're a home health aide, a companion, a nurse, there's opportunity here. So those people can grow within our organization. We are expanding outside of New York at this point. But the people we're looking for are very sincere and very diligent. And from that, what I mean by that is that they're there every day. They're responsible. They're showing up on time, because you have seniors that are depending on these aides to show up. And as the relationship grows, what happens is they become part of the family. So I'm looking for people that are very sincere.
They don't need a driver's license, I'm figuring. I mean, part of the job, mostly 99% of the jobs, you need a license. How many years of any experience?
It really
What do we
depends
got?
on the level of care you're looking for. A companion, we're looking for someone who has a clean background, a driver's license, and is legal to work here in the U.S. As far as the home health aide, you have to have a certification, which is a 2-week class that you would take, and you have to pass that class. You cannot miss a day. You have to pass all your exams. If you do pass, you are certified. That is the biggest need at this point, is certified home health aides. So if anyone does have a certificate, we would love to have them come down and apply to our agency.
We were talking about reinvention last week, and so if people are looking for some kind of new challenge, that'd be kind of wonderful to pop in there, particularly since you're hiring, which is wonderful.
Joe, any last questions for Mark while we have him here?
It sounds a little like that their policy needs to change, because I think just in general, we always throw people into hospitals. They don't want to be in hospitals. They want to be in their home. I see this with my own family. I see it with other friends and their family members. They want this kind of access to this kind of support. So is there anything that we can do as a community to say, no, we want more of this? Is there a policy change? Is there something that we can do? Is there anything along those lines?
There are many changes going on right now within the government from the standpoint of overtime standards and certification standards. And you could write to your local politicians and recommend that the home health care industry be reviewed from the standpoint of the labor laws.
Okay.
And one of the examples I could give is you have a patient with late-stage dementia. We have live-in aides, which are there 24/7. right now, as of January 1st, with the new laws, I'm going to have to change that 8 every 3 days. So now I'll have 3 people in there per week, as opposed to an 8 who currently will work 2, maybe 3 weeks at a time. So there's continuity of care.
Right.
That's very important, and the laws are causing us to change that.
Okay, Mark, I think, I like interviewing everyone, but I just love your company name, Community Cares. Mark, we got 30 seconds left. Long Island's right in that camera in front of you. What do you want to tell them, buddy?
We are a New York State company. We are growing, and we're looking for great employees. We have a great staff, and like I tell all the families we care for, I'm only as good as the people we place in the home. Thank you.
Thank you. We thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank
From
you.
Hello,
Nice to meet
Long
you.
Island. Goodbye,
Long
Long Island.